All right, guys, so we got to talk about a outrageous incident in which a New York City bodega worker was jailed and charged with second-degree murder for defending himself against a thug, against a criminal who tried to fight him after his girlfriend's EBT card was declined while she was trying to purchase some chips or something like that from the store. And this story right here is a prime example of how law-abiding citizen lives do not matter in these liberal cities. The only people some of these woke prosecutors care about are criminals, right? All they care about is the thugs and the criminals. Only their lives matter, okay? Again, as this New York bodega worker, who's a law-abiding citizen, is being charged with second-degree murder. He's been arrested, right? He was thrown in Rikers Island, okay? Because he was defending himself against a criminal that was trying to hurt him because his girlfriend's EBT card got declined. So without further ado, let's go ahead and roll the news clip of this incident.
New York City Bodega clerk making headlines this week is now out on bail. Jose Alba was arrested and held behind bars after fatally stabbing another man during an altercation behind the store's counter. Now, the exchange all caught on store surveillance. It shows the moment Alba was confronted and then the entire confrontation that unfolded. The video's release is sparking conversations all around the nation on whether this should be considered murder or self-defense. Alba is still facing a second-degree murder charge. As NewsNation correspondent Paul Gerke explains, it's a charge many people, including New York City's mayor, want thrown out.
The incident occurred late last Friday night at Blue Moon Convenience Store in Hamilton Heights, a neighborhood 6.5 miles north of Midtown Manhattan. A woman tries to buy a bag of chips for her daughter, but her EBT card is declined. An argument ensues. The clerk, Jose Alba, takes the chips back. The woman leaves the store, returning with her boyfriend, Austin Simon. You can see Simon walk behind the counter and shove Alba against the wall. A scuffle breaks out. Alba reaches for a knife on the counter and stabs Simon several times. Simon was later pronounced dead at the hospital. Alba waited for police to arrive. He was arrested and charged with murder, sent to Rikers Island on $250,000 bail. That bail was lowered to $50,000 Thursday after prosecutors were convinced Alba would not be a flight risk. He was supposed to visit family in the Dominican Republic next week, but now he's been forced to surrender his passport, wear an ankle monitor, and cannot leave the 5 boroughs. Alba returned to his apartment Thursday night, shielding his face from cameras and offering no comment to the media. New York City Mayor Eric Adams was more vocal, publicly supporting Alba despite the charge he's facing.
My heart goes out for that hard-working, honest New Yorker that was doing his job in his place of business, where a person came in and went behind the counter and attacked him. I am hoping that we take all of that into consideration.
Going by the books, Alba's actions do appear to be in self-defense. According to the relevant New York statute, a person may use physical force upon another when and to the extent he or she reasonably believes such to be necessary to defend himself from what he or she reasonably believes to be the use or imminent use of unlawful physical force by such other person.
The 61-year-old store clerk's son, Jeffrey, says his father is not a violent man and was genuinely afraid for his life. On the other hand, Simon, the man who was stabbed, was on parole for assaulting a police officer and had a lengthy criminal record. His girlfriend actually had a knife of her own. She reached into her purse and grabbed it and stabbed the store clerk several times during the encounter. To this point, she has not been charged with the crime. We'll let you know if that changes, Nicole.
Yeah, so many opinions on this one, Paul. All right, thank you for that.
All right, guys, so you seen that, you heard that, okay? Ridiculous, okay? And not just the fact that a law-abiding citizen is being charged with second-degree murder for what is obviously self-defense, but the fact that a simp lost his life over his woman, right? Over a woman. You lost your life, right? Because you were acting out of emotion. But yeah, law-abiding citizen getting thrown in jail, right? Getting thrown in jail for clearly defending himself. Okay, that is what happened if you watch the footage. Now, I know I had to add freeze frames to some of that footage because you can't put violence on YouTube like that. So it is what it is. But I'm just saying, the guy clearly was acting in self-defense. And again, it blows my mind that in a liberal-run city like New York, where actual criminals don't really get locked up, they don't get thrown in Rikers Island, right? They get a slap on the wrist. They're going hard on a law-abiding citizen who was defending himself. Again, if you're living in these liberal cities, I don't know why, right? They don't care about you. They don't care about law and order. The only people that they're interested in punishing are those who actually follow the law. If you don't follow the law, if you break the law, they love you, right? And if you get shot and killed by a white police officer, they will boo-hoo, whine, and cry and riot in the streets for you. However, if you're a law-abiding citizen and you defend yourself against a criminal, they may charge you with second-degree murder, give you a $250,000 bond, and throw you in jail, right? That is what they will do. Again, New York City is one of the most backward places on earth. However, we have some hope, okay, with this story. As, you know, some of these Democrats, they're insane, but they're not that insane. They're actually coming out and demanding that the woke DA, Mr. Alvin Bragg, drop Jose Alba's Bodega murder charge because anybody with any common sense knows that this is absolutely ridiculous and it's not a good look for New York City, who routinely lets off criminals to be charging a law-abiding citizen in a case that is obviously self-defense. So let's read about this here. A group of New York City elected officials is demanding that Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg drop his case against Bodega clerk Jose Alba in the stabbing death of an ex-con who attacked him behind the counter. The bipartisan group of city council members said the DA's controversial progressive approach to law enforcement, quote, was rewarding the guilty and punishing the innocent. Facts, right? So again, if you guys remember, again, at the end of that story, they also mentioned how they were not charging the woman that turned around and tried to stab the bodega worker after he stabbed her boyfriend in self-defense. So that woman gets no charges, right? Even though she was not acting in self-defense. She was just stabbing the guy, okay? But for whatever reason, the bodega worker who's acting in self-defense, who's stabbing a criminal, okay, he gets charged. Again, this is Cuckoo for Cocoa Puff, Looney Tunes world. The fact that you're even prosecuting Mr. Alba reveals how your perverse sense of justice not only protects violent criminals, but actively seeks to destroy the lives of crime victims, the lawmakers wrote Bragg on Thursday. The group called Bragg's handling of Alba's case, quote, particularly jarring in light of his generally soft on crime policies and the, quote, countless cases where defendants were allowed to plead down to lesser charges and then later go on to commit additional crimes. Ding, 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 ding. Ding, ding, ding. Again, soft on criminals, hard on law-abiding citizens. That is the woke, progressive criminal justice system, guys. I'm telling you. The second biggest threat to this country outside of woke supremacy, okay, is woke criminal justice reform. Quote, your approach is not a policy of restorative justice or de-incarceration, according to the letter. You are simply rewarding the guilty and punishing the innocent. The letter was signed by council members Robert Holden, Joe Borelli, Ina Varinko, David Carr, Calvin Yeager, Joanne Aria, and Vicky Paladino. In a milder statement Friday, Councilmember Sean Abreu, whose district covers the slaying scene, said the murder charge against Alba, quote, should be re-examined based on publicly available video evidence, which appears to strongly indicate self-defense. The events of July 1st, just 2 blocks from my office, underscore the need for public safety and a fair judicial system, Abreu said. Quote, it is critical that our justice system fairly examine the facts, in this case, to avoid further compounding this tragedy. The official statements follow remarks Thursday by Mayor Eric Adams, who said, quote, my heart goes out for this hardworking, honest New York worker that was doing his job in his place of business, where a person came in and went behind the counter and attacked him. Alba, 61, is charged with second-degree murder in the fatal stabbing of Austin Simon, 35, inside the store at 3422 Broadway in Hamilton Heights shortly after 11 p.m. July 1st. Surveillance video shows Austin shoved Alba against a wall of merchandise and was trying to lead him away from the older man when the older man fought back and plunged a knife into his neck. All right, so we saw that. We get the gist of what's going on here. In this case right here, I'm actually surprised that the woke Democrats, including a guy like Eric Adams, who has came out of the closet as one of the most woke Democrat politicians there is, right? Prominent Democrat politicians. As he's for some insane Looney Tune policies, and he has not been as tough on crime as he campaigned on. However, even he is seeing the light on this and seeing how ridiculous this is, that you have this prosecutor going after a law-abiding citizen who was clearly acting in self-defense. Again, I'm telling you guys, man, stories like this, it's sad because it seems like law-abiding citizens in this country just simply don't matter. We do not matter at all. Nobody's looking out for us, okay? Nobody's looking out for us. It seems like all the politicians care about are the criminals and people who don't want to work, right? Who don't want to contribute to the system, who don't want to do anything, who are not positive contributors to society. It really is a damn shame. And I hope and pray that this guy, this bodega worker, gets his charges dropped and able to walk free. In fact, the man might be owed some reparations. Who knows, right? Who knows? He might be owed some money, okay? Considering the hardship that they put this man through. He was about to go to the Dominican. He can't even leave the country anymore because of this. It's really ridiculous. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.